And I meant an annoying brawler getting an annoying hypercharge. When did his oh yeah, Lou, yeah. Never mind, but as annoying as this, are we kidding right now? So you guys should know that I really like playing, the single shot brawlers. I don't know, Maisie, Piper, I'm a Bonnie main, totally like random. So having this type of hypercharge in the game is really toxic for me, and I don't know how to explain it. Whenever the enemy would have picked Mr. P in your Diamonds lobby, you usually want to use, Edgar, Mortis, some brawlers like this, some assassins. Now you can do it, why not? Because you would charge his hypercharge. I hate this hypercharge, and it just released. We need a totally nerf about this hypercharge, or at least the supercharge rate in general for Mr. P now. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Inside of today's video, I wanted to talk about Mr. P's hypercharge, an F tier brawler getting a broken hypercharge. This already happened to some brawlers, like Janet going from D tier to totally S tier brawler with the total gadget changes. Now Janet is totally S tier brawler. Anyways, we are talking about Mr. P right now, but Mr. P has happened the same exact thing. And after Brawler getting a broken hypercharge, now he's on top of the meta. Bro, what? Every Brawler has their own counters. Mr. P has his own counters, that being aggro Brawlers and throwers. This is the reason why Mr. P has always been really bad in the meta. The reason being, he has been always being countered by too many Brawlers, assassins, tanks, and throwers. That's a lot. Some brawlers are already controlled by them, but they usually have a comeback about it. Jessie can easily, charge her hypercharge. She has one of the lowest hypercharge rates in the entire game, so she can do that. There's also Penny being able to drop that salty barrel in the game. Mr. P had none of them, so he was pretty bad as a control brawler. You normally can't use him as an anti-tank. Lou is also a control, but he's more of an anti-tank type of control. This was not the case for Mr. P. It has never been the case for Mr. P. His specialty has always been being annoying, especially for single shot brawlers, since, Colt, for example, can't do that. Like with single shots, I actually meant the low DPS brawlers. I don't know, Maisie, Piper, for example, these type of brawlers. Mr. P has always dominated. Anyways, we've also got Eve that can dominate easily in case the map has even that, that square of water. But Mr. P right now, he might be better than Eve. The problem with Eve is that her hatchlings are not that spatial right now. They decay over time, and not only that, but she can spawn 3 or 4 in case you've got the mythic gear, and that's it, they will die eventually. If they deal no damage to the enemy, it will require you another grind of super for having that. Mr. P hasn't got this problem. Once he deploys that super, there will be porters always coming back. Now, of course, that broken star power that made the porter spawn time 1 second, that has been totally changed luckily. But before that, imagine with that 1 second cooldown of a new porter. Yeah, that thing was broken. I remember that being a thing. I never found Mr. P that annoying back then, but because I was low in trophies. Anyways, yeah, it was pretty annoying. Now, Mr. P is usually a brawler that can be used in Jam Grab, that can be used in Brawl Ball, these type of maps. Not in Bounty or Knockout meta. He has never been one of those. Usually, brawlers that depend on their supers are not good in those type of metas, but Mr. P might be. And that's not a word joke, okay? I'm not joking. Mr. P might finally be back in those metas. Not in knockout, but maybe in bounty meta, yes. Higher trophies bounty is a pretty hard mode. It can stay for a really long time. The games might end 8 to 7, for example, so it's a real competitive game mode and it can actually stay for a really long time. Mr. P wants time. Mr. P wants time for that hypercharge or super to, get spawned. Anyways, Mr. P will still be your absolute last pick. You can still pick Mr. P as a first pick because you will still get countered. This might not be the case for Brawler or Gem Grab meta though. As a second pick, if the enemy picks Maisie as a first pick, Mr. P still can be really annoying. Since, Maisie will continually shot your porters and will lose one of those ammos. And yeah, you need that one less ammo to survive Maisie. This, of course, together with the hypercharge. So I don't know. I don't bought the hypercharge since I've got Mr. P at level 9. I bought Hank's hypercharge since I had Hank at level 11. Don't ask me why I brought level 11 Hank before Mr. P. Please don't ask me that. Anyways, the Porter's HP should be higher than 6,000 if I'm not wrong. I will show you the exact number on your screen, but yeah, if I'm not wrong, it should be higher than 6,000. Low DPS brawlers are doomed. Assassins are doomed. Melee brawlers are doomed. Tanks in general can literally do nothing about it. And you know what is the worst part? Two porters instead of one. The meta is broken due to Mr. P having a hypercharge. Mr. P is a totally, one of those brawlers that, oh no, he's S tier, yo. Oh god. Now the whole meta has changed because of Mr. P. So there are brawlers like Piper, for example, Bell, those type of brawlers, low DPS brawlers in general, that if they are on top of the meta, you don't actually care too much since you can counter them in every way. Mr. P is not one of those brawlers, since the only counter right now to Mr. P are throwers. I can't pick Mortis against Mr. P anymore. You know why? Because Mortis will charge the hypercharge that Mr. P needs to actually win the match. Once you deploy that hypercharge turret for the enemy, it's over. The only way that you can counter that hypercharge turret is to have a thrower. That if your teammates are NPCs and they've got the last pick, and the enemy picks Mr. P, you know what will happen? Your teammate is enough bad to not know that we need a thrower for destroying that hypercharge turret. This is what is going to happen in every single ranked match because of this hypercharge turret. So, like you've already realized in the game that you're watching, I don't have the hypercharge for Mr. P. I don't have a level 11 Mr. P. And if you actually care, I don't even have any star power for Mr. P. But yeah, I've seen multiple times this hypercharge getting used against me, and I've lost every single time. This hypercharge is broken. I want a totally nerf about this hypercharge in the next patch, and I want a Bonnie buff because Bonnie needs a buff. Anyways, that's all. See ya.